When artists announce a new project, nobody eats more than the fans. You get the prospect of new music, a ton of media coverage, and more often than not, some sneak peeks into the development of the project through leaks. Artists announcing new albums or mixtapes instantly signals to leakers that there is fresh meat on the market for them to go for, but more than likely, they knew the artist was working on something well before the public. Getting new looks into work an artist is doing for an upcoming project is always incredibly insightful, and the recent leaks we got for Barter 16 showcase a lot of what Uzi is developing right now. There's only one problem. Barter 16 is never going to release, but it's not because of the leaks. Really quick, before we get into the rest of the video, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. So we actually got 3 fully finished leaks that were all made this year during early Barter 16 sessions, which would be after Pink Tape dropped on June 30th. Jet has Uzi showcasing a vocal delivery very similar to Die Lit Cardi sound, with a bit of Young Thug style combined with classic Uzi. The song also features a pretty trippy synth backing and is quite good.
You let me pissed off. You hang out like a prank call. Tiffany diamonds on my pants on the ankle. You think you ugly when you don't got on no makeup. Ooh, you pretty when you crying in your makeup. I know when I fuck these bitches, you be knowing for sure. Lot of you say fuck, but I only.
Then we have Playing Game, produced by London on the Track, which has Uzi basically doing his version of Young Thug's cadence and pitch, the whole 9 yards, over an Eternal Atake type sounding synth melody.
My niggas kill shit for change. I put diamonds on my brain.
And then Thigh Pads, produced by Brandon Finessin, has a similar type of vocals to the previous 2 with some nice guitar and string patterns in the background.
She made my dick with the twice the size, so this bitch she suck on my DD. I know a lot of niggas that met A$AP Rocky had a baby with Riri. Bitch, I'm the man in my talent, I'm running the girl in the city like JT. Yo, all of these rocks all on my neck, I feel like Elliot and Jay-Z. Got an old cougar bitch, I just be pleading to her.
Overall, these leaks sound really good. Lots of auto-tune on Uzi's voice sounds great, and all the beats are top-notch. I do like this kind of amalgamation of Thug's style that he's going for, and I'd like to see more from him with that kind of delivery. The songs definitely give a great insight into Barter 16's development so far, and show a lot of promise for Uzi's current music that he's working on. But I did say at the start of the video that Barter 16 wouldn't be dropping, so let's explore that. Now, we have heard artists say that leaks directly lead to delays for projects for a few reasons. An artist might say that they want their new projects to be entirely unheard by fans, so having songs leak forces them to keep making new ones to fulfill the goal of the whole thing being fresh. And while that is a valid point, I think it's important to consider that such a small percentage of songs an artist makes or is working on end up getting leaked. We know guys like Uzi can make a ridiculous amount of songs in even one studio session, so I feel like having a handful of songs leaking really shouldn't be that big of a deal. Additionally, it's important to consider the percentage of an artist's fan base that would even hear the leaks. The absolute most popular leaks are heard by probably a couple 100,000 fans, but that's only a handful of leaks. The vast majority are only heard by a couple thousand people. Compared to when an artist releases official music that is heard by hundreds of millions of people, it just seems like delaying an entire project because a couple thousand people may have heard a few songs early is unnecessary. Now, what is interesting about Uzi compared to most artists is that he absolutely loves to give fans previews of new music. He's constantly doing Instagram live streams, playing snippets of new songs, and even has multiple fan group chats where he'll send previews of songs he's working on. So I feel like for Uzi, the fact that people have these leaks would not be enough to convince him to delay or even cancel dropping Barter 16. There's also the fact that Uzi has directly talked to leakers and hackers with specific songs and told them not to distribute or sell them. This is more than likely what Uzi does if a song that he really truly cares about leaks, so that he can make sure it stays fresh for fans, also ensuring he won't need to delay a project. It's hard to know why Uzi Uzi behaves the way he does with fans and his unreleased music, but we can take a few guesses. Perhaps he wants to get fans' opinions on new tracks and likes to play previews to see how people react. On the flip side, however, publicly showing what you're working on is kind of like flashing to leakers the potential treasure they could get, so his frequent previews could be a double-edged sword. So if I don't think Barter 16 will be delayed or canceled because of the leaks, then why is the title of the video "We Are Never Getting Barter 16"? And that is because of something Uzi said when he made the announcement for the project. When he officially said that Barter 16 would be coming soon, Uzi declared it a mixtape and affirmed that his next album, Luv Is Rage 3, would also be on the way, presumably after Barter 16. The real reason this project will never drop is because the overwhelmingly likely outcome of this period of music development is that it will all get rolled up into Luv Is Rage 3, or whatever Uzi decides to title his next album. This is essentially what happens with a lot of major artist projects. They announce something small like a mixtape and then end up just focusing efforts on the next major album, using the work done for the mixtape as a stepping stone to finishing the album. So my honest prediction is that Barter 16 will eventually just be morphed into Luv Is Rage 3 somehow, and I would be more than okay with that. Jet, thigh pads, and playing game are all super good, like top tier Uzi. So if that's any indication of the quality we can expect from Luv Is Rage 3, I would be more than okay with Barter 16 getting scrapped. Obviously, I'm not a psychic, so Uzi could totally drop the mixtape and then go on to drop the album. So really either way, we are getting Barter 16 music. It just might not have that title simply because of how artists like Uzi work on their music and projects all at once. Or I guess Uzi could just scrap the mixtape and go in a totally different direction with Luv Is Rage 3, although I would say that's the least likely outcome, and if it happened, I would probably be sad, because then we don't get any more Barter 16 besides the leaks. Regardless, I'm sure Uzi's future projects will absolutely live up to the hype, and the sneak peeks we've had so far are definitely a great sign. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this, and let me know in the comments if you agree with me and think Barter 16 will end up getting morphed into Luv Is Rage 3.